talk about the first scene in the diner. What did you take away from that specific scene? Because it starts with uh Yazir, right? That's his name. It starts with Yazir talking with his one of his friends.
Right.
What did you
So
take away
Yasir
from that?
and Sean are basically sitting there, and naturally Yasir is here because he lives in the Bay or whatever. So he comes
Hmm.
out. Sean is like really on him about, wanting him to quote unquote meet this girl that's gonna be at the diner. Yasir gets
Right.
there, realizes that I'm not meeting her because he don't even know her. He don't even know her name.
Right. That was
So
crazy.
when Sean gets up and Yasir walks over, introduces himself, gets her name and just a little bit of background information on her, um, it's interesting because in my mind, it seemed as though Yasir, like he automatically kind of took a liking to Nuri. Like
Right.
I thought initially, like maybe he just getting the information for his homeboy, but then I'm like, wait a minute, because he being chill, but it was seemed like a little bit of flirtation there. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
Okay. So first thing that I took away from it is dude has an incredible amount of confidence.
Oh
That was the
yeah,
first thing that was the first thing that I saw. Like his confidence level was crazy. Secondly, he pulled a move that I probably would pull, where he introduced himself, spoke his piece, but then left without asking. You know what I'm saying? Without asking for her number or any other type of information, he just walked away from it. That right there was some shit that I really took a liking to, because that's definitely like something that I would do. Um, but yeah, I really noticed his confidence for the most part in that
absolutely.
scene. You know what I'm saying? Like that stood out to me more than anything. And it's funny how I guess you'll find out later on in the series more about his life.
Right,
But at the beginning of it, all I really saw was confidence. That's
right.
it.
And
That's it.
I agree
But
with
what do
you a
you?
hundred. Go ahead.
No, no. What do you? How do you feel? What did you get from her in that, like in that specific scene? Like, what did you get
I
from her?
feel like initially she was just kind of oblivious to what was going on. Like she's like, "Oh, do you need a sit outlet or something like that?" And then, or whatever. I couldn't remember the exact question she asked, but then it was kind of like some mystere or intrigue about the level of confidence he had to be able to walk over and approach her and not be timid. She seemed like, as confident as she may have been initially, she kind of, you know, kind of like chilled out just a little bit and was like, something about him is kind of interesting. I think she was kind of feeling him just a little bit initially, but she came off as more like, I don't know, just flirty in that moment, like a subtle flirtiness. Because as you can see, when he went to walk off, like some of us women do with guys like you, when y'all come over, y'all like say a little piece and dip. We kind of like thinking in our mind, like, so he ain't gonna ask me for my number, like, what's really good.
But I think it was all on his entry. Like it was all on how he presented himself that made her want. Because initially you could tell like she was kind of standoffish a little bit. Like what do you want? You know what I'm saying? And I think just
Right.
and one thing about this guy, man, he seems to have a comeback for everything that she throws out there. He says the
Absolutely.
exact. You know what it told me last night. Well, did I watch it last night? Well, whenever I watched it, it told me to stop being ussy in so many words. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that he just carries so much. He just carries so much confidence as if he was on the top of the world.
Right.
When in all actuality, we know that that's not the
Far
case.
from the truth.
Yeah, far from the truth. So that was pretty good, man. It catches you at the very beginning.